I want to start with something simple. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Sometimes that's all we need, one breath to remind ourselves that we're still here, still trying, and still human. Mental health, it's a phrase we hear often these days, but for many, it still feels uncomfortable to talk about. For a long time, people have treated it like a secret, something you keep to yourself. But today, we're done whispering. We're talking about it loudly, proudly, and honestly, because mental health matters. It shapes how we think, how we feel, how we act, and how we connect with others. Whether it's at home, in class, or hanging out with friends, our mental state affects everything we do. Now, let's be real for a moment. Many people, especially young people, are fighting battles we can't see. Some are dealing with anxiety, others with depression, loneliness, stress, or family issues. Yet we've mastered the art of saying, "I'm fine," even when we're not. You know that famous line, "I'm okay." But deep inside, you're thinking, "I'm actually not okay. But thanks for asking anyway." We laugh, but it's true. We live in a world that celebrates smiling faces, but rarely talks about struggling hearts. And that's why peer counseling is so important. Because sometimes, the best therapy isn't found in a clinic, it's found in a conversation. Peer counseling is about young people helping other young people. It's not about fixing anyone. It's about being there, listening, caring, and reminding someone that they're not alone. You don't need a degree to listen. You just need compassion, understanding, and patience. A peer counselor is not a superhero. They're simply a friend who shows up. Sometimes that's all someone needs, a friend who will sit down, listen, and say, "I get it." When a person feels heard, something inside them starts to heal. One conversation can change a life. Now, let's talk a bit about what mental health actually means. It's not just about mental illness, it's about balance, peace, and resilience. It's the ability to handle stress, adapt to change, and bounce back from challenges. Good mental health helps us learn better, love better, and live better. But when our minds are tired or troubled, whether it's because of school pressure, broken relationships, or life's disappointments, everything becomes harder. Even waking up in the morning can feel like climbing a mountain. And let's face it, life can be tough. You study for hours, then the exam comes, and you wonder if it was written in a foreign language. You smile, but deep inside you're thinking, "I'm not okay." And that's fine. It's okay not to be okay. Feeling down, anxious, or overwhelmed doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Peer counseling helps us break that silence. It replaces judgment with understanding. It says, you're allowed to talk about what you're going through. When someone listens, your burden becomes lighter. You start to believe again that there's hope, that things can get better. And let's be honest, even the strongest people need support. The person who makes everyone laugh could be crying quietly at night. The one who motivates others might be silently fighting battles of their own. So, check on your strong friends too. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if I don't know what to say when someone opens up to me? Don't worry, you don't have to know everything. Sometimes silence helps more than words. Sometimes just sitting beside someone and saying, "I'm here," means more than any advice you could give. Being an effective peer counselor isn't complicated. It's about mastering 5 simple things. First, listen actively. Don't listen to reply, listen to understand. Second, show empathy. Try to feel what the other person feels. Third, keep things confidential. What someone tells you in trust stays with you. Fourth, be patient. Healing takes time. There's no quick fix. And fifth, be encouraging. Sometimes, just saying you'll get through this is enough to help someone hold on. Now, let's talk about the big one, stigma. For years, mental illness has been treated like something to be ashamed of. People say things like, "You're overreacting," or "just toughen up." But imagine telling someone with a broken leg to just walk it off. It doesn't make sense, right? Mental health struggles deserve the same care and compassion as physical ones. When we open up and share our struggles, we give others permission to do the same. Talking is healing. Healing doesn't always begin in a hospital. Sometimes it begins in a quiet conversation between friends, under a tree, or during lunch. One brave voice can inspire many others to speak. Mental health is not just a counselor's responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility. Teachers, parents, students, friends, all of us can play a role, be available to listen. Watch for signs that someone might be struggling. Maybe they've stopped talking, stopped laughing, or suddenly lost interest in things they loved. Don't ignore those signs. Reach out, check in. A simple "how are you really doing" could save a life. Let's build environments where emotional well-being matters as much as academic success. Because grades are important, but peace of mind is priceless. Success without happiness is still failure on the inside. We want a world where students don't just graduate with knowledge, but with confidence, joy, and emotional strength. Imagine a school where everyone feels safe to express how they truly feel. A place where it's okay to say, "I'm tired," or "I need a break." A place where we don't judge someone for crying, but instead say, "It's okay, I've been there too." That's the kind of community peer counseling helps us build, a family of understanding hearts. And if you're sitting there thinking, "I can't be a counselor, I have my own struggles," then guess what? That's exactly why you can. Because people who have been through pain often understand it best. Your story, your scars, your experiences, they can help someone else find strength. You don't have to be perfect to help others, you just have to care. So let's normalize mental health conversations. Let's stop pretending and start healing. Let's create safe spaces where people can share openly without fear of being judged. Let's choose kindness over sarcasm, empathy over gossip, and support over silence. Because every little act of care counts, every listening ear, every encouraging word, every time you decide to show up for someone. When we support one another, we rise together. When we talk about mental health,